Hello, and thank you for joining me as always on the Women's Series program, where we capture developments and stories that impact women. It's been such an eventful November. You can tell from the number of events we've had throughout this month, from conversations around fintech, women in leadership, to women owning the future, as well as women taking on leadership position in politics. Now, part of the review I got from the last episode where we looked at a woman becoming the president of Nigeria was a woman can actually become the president of Nigeria, but first she has to believe in herself, which I think is very important. She has to have the support of people and prepare herself, body, soul, and spirit. Do you agree? Tell me what you think. Now, speaking on body, soul, and spirit, do you know that a lot of us sometimes get caught in the web of life, so to say, that we forget ourselves and in turn lose ourselves in the process. Now, when I mean web of life, I mean as a woman, especially if you are a family woman, there's the home front to cater for, the family, the kids, the husband, and extended family. It could be a long list that you have to take care of. And while at it, there is the business or the career that needs your push as well. And it can be a lot and sometimes very much overwhelming. Now, I loved what FSDH Bank did with respect to having conversations around the future-focused female. I think it's very important that we remind ourselves that our health and self-care is just as important as chasing our dreams. Someone said to me, health may not be everything until you do not have it. And trust me, no one wants to get to that point where our health becomes a challenge. So I'm not a health expert, so I'm going to leave the talking for them to do. Your total well-being, self-care, and most importantly, if you're struggling with weight loss and you need some form of encouragement and guidance, you definitely need to pay attention to this.
In your own little way, we know that you're supporting the female economy in your different fields on social media, online, offline. We see what you're doing, but we want to know more about that. So how are you supporting, the female economy today?
Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for the introduction. And thank you, FSDH, for inviting me here. It's an honor and it's a profound privilege. So thank you very much. So for your first question, I think it's a very important question to ask. And so thank you for asking that. First of all, I'll talk about what I do at Shredder Gang. So we've already said what Shredder Gang is. And so far, we have helped a total of average 57,000 women with their nutrition and health goals. So, you can have a great job, you can travel all around the world, but if your health and your fitness are not right, you can't do all these things in longevity. So this is one of the things that is in the forefront of my vision and my goal is to keep helping women be their best selves, being healthy and being happy. And then with my own personal brand, Bunmi George, I just love to have fun. What is life without fun, right? But I love to encourage women to just be yourself, create your own happy. Every single day, I am inspiring women on my Instagram page just to live life at their best. You don't have to have the best of everything, so you don't have to be living in a certain place, driving a certain car, but just being content and being happy is what I'm encouraging women to do.
Okay, so my name is Bunmi Oragwu. You can call me Obese, not Obese like her. But yeah, I was once, but it's a pet name my parents gave me. My full name is Obiamaka, and they call me Obese. So unless I do stuff that is bad, they call me Obiamaka. So just in case you see me after this, just say Obese, hi. But onto my own contribution to the economy, I do two things. I'm a lover of fashion. I studied geology and I have a master's in logistics and supply chain management. And I really wanted to be in the oil and gas field, but I would look so good and I would go for meetings and talk to C-level executives. And at the end of the day, the CEO or the CFO is like, madam, this is your job. You go do something with get TV. You can't be doing this. You like fashion too much. And I used to wonder what they were saying. But on the other hand, I would go home. I love to look good. It is something that gets me going every day. When you see a woman that looks good, she can walk into anywhere. All right? And so I love to look good, and I also buy stuff a lot. And once I say and it's good, even if I'm not wearing it immediately, I'm getting it for myself. And then I want to go out with my husband, and sometimes I can't find what to wear. Hello? Babe, we have 10 minutes more. I'm still looking for it. And so that was the struggle I had. But I'll still look good. But there were so many other women that couldn't also what? Look good. So the first opportunity I had in the market was to sell the stuff I had in my wardrobe. And so I birthed my company, my first company, which is called Wardrobe Merchant. What do? I help you to sell that stuff in your wardrobe that your husband got for you that is not your size. But you told him you're a size 12, but me and you know you're 18. Or you know that perfume that he likes to smell on you, but sometimes you're like, yeah, bring it for me, I'll sell it for you, I'll just take a commission. But while I started that, it was just to help, look, make the woman out there who doesn't have a nice perfume or a nice dress at a bargain price to look good. Does it make sense? So there are two women I'm catering for. The woman who has stuff in her wardrobe, a lot of it, so much of it, she can't wear from now till tomorrow. Life is too short. There's another woman that wants to look good. She's never traveled out. She doesn't even have a passport. She needs to look good at her meetings. Okay? She needs to do presentations. How do I give her stuff that is the same high quality that you bought at Zara, but I'll give it to her for 5,000 naira? That's what I do. And then there are also business owners, people that love to make the other set of people look good. You know, fashion revolves, right? Every season there's a new design. Next year, they're telling you this color is no longer evil, it's black. So you two jump on the black bandwagon. Somebody else does not care. So as you travel, you buy, you stock up your stores. It won't sell overnight. You have inventory. As an entrepreneur, you tie down your cash with what? Inventory. So when you're bringing in new stock, where is it going to stay? There's no place. So you bring it to me. I'll help you declutter your store and give you cash. On this business, I've seen women pay school fees for their kids when their husbands could not meet up. I've seen people actually fund their school fees to get certifications. I've seen people say, obese, because of you, my husband can tell me you look good because I don't know where to buy good stuff. Now, that's one part. So anytime we post nice stuff, I always share a style tip. Pair this with a nude shoe, a nude bag, and some people say, oh, please, come and explain. What do you mean nude? What do you mean brown? And then I started my personal brand. My personal brand is called Obese Aura, which is a short form of my name. On this personal brand, for the past 3 years, I've impacted thousands of women globally. You know what I tell them to do? Just look good and live your best lives. See, if you're single here, enjoy your life. You see the minute you collect that ring, you will take care of somebody's son. Oh. They don't tell you the truth. You take care of him. Oh, if you don't take care of him, the in-laws will remind you to take care of him. You know, right? They say you're not giving peace of mind. He's not looking like he was looking before. He's not, that's one. Then God will bless you with the fruit of the womb. Hallelujah. Then you will take care of everybody else except yourself. Then you begin to look like a shadow of yourself. You go to work, your colleagues will ask you, what's the problem now? What happened? Nothing happened. There's no time to sleep. There's no time to look good. What are you saying? I will do homework. I will clean. I will this. I will that. Where's the time to look good? So when it's time to make somebody the director in your company, they won't choose you because you're not a moving brand. Yes. You don't look the part. Not because you're not intellectually sound, but because you're not taking care of yourself. And the first place you should love is yourself because you're the temple of the Lord. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So, on these two parts, I've been able to impact the lives of women. When a woman looks good, she's able to achieve more. She's able to put more and bring more to the table in her family. And then when you're able to sell stuff in your wardrobe, you're able to make more money to fund more projects. And then for so many other things, employing people, which helps to keep the economy, going. I hope I touched your life. Everybody's looking at me like,
Yes, you did. Thank you. Dr. Alera.
And the question was, how have I impacted the economy of Nigeria?
The female economy, yes, please.
The truth of the matter is health truly may not be everything until you don't have it. I've been training medical students, nurses, radiographers, medical lab scientists for close on 20 years. So if you're sitting here and you're breathing, like Jumoke said, I do have a little bit to play with it. And I'm grateful. It's been an up and down situation. Like I told Ms. Smith earlier when we came in, we're not really appreciated. Our impact on the economy is not measured until suddenly it's no longer there. Now my phone is blowing up because I've got people calling me asking for a doctor, a nurse. They've got parents aging in their homes and no trained carers. It is late for that, but I've just learned today from you, Jumoke, it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity now for us to develop the next generation of women in STEM. The M is medicine. And medicine isn't just the physicians. Medicine is the nurses. Medicine is the radiographers. Medicine is the medical lab scientists. Medicine is the physiotherapists. Lately, we've needed a lot of those in the COVID situation. Because even I don't know how to make somebody breathe who's got 60% lung involvement with COVID pneumonia. So for all of us who are listening and who can sit and listen, either virtually or really or in person, that's my impact on the economy. Thank you.
I just wanted you to touch briefly on total health and general well-being. What exactly do we mean when we say, oh, the general well-being of a woman?
So for me, I'm particular about an annual checkup. When last did you get an annual checkup? Only 5 of us? Oh. No, when last did you get an annual checkup? Okay, who got an annual checkup? Oh, okay. When last did you get one? This year. Good. But to be sincere, when I looked around the hall, we're like a quarter of us. Okay? And I know it's very, you can feel like, why do I need one? Okay? But you need one. You see, when she was talking about how we juggle so much, it's like a driver driving a car. Okay? If the engine knocks, the car can't go, even if there's a driver. You are the engine of your family, of your home, of everything. And the day you knock out, that's the end. And you know life really moves on. But you can really take care of yourself. So the first thing I want you to do is get medical insurance, all right, for yourself and your kids, okay? Don't let the word scare you. All the word is saying is just in case anything happens, which it will. She said it, you see, yeah? So if it happens and you walk into a hospital designated to your insurance company, they'll take care of you. And you will not pay anything out of pocket. So you're just paying a fraction of money just in case anything happens to you or your children. Because something happens to your children too, you know you can't even take care of yourself. And your husband as well. So as the new year is starting, or even before then, just research some medical insurance companies, okay? They will give you packages, and many of them have these annual checkup plans, okay?
So I just wanted to quickly jump on that question as well. And just to piggyback off what Dr. Lero said is that if you look around this room, there are mothers, sisters, wives. Like she said, we're doing everything for everybody but ourselves. And you just find that one day you hear of somebody who just collapsed. And you're like, why? And I want to go back to her definition of health. And she talked about the absence of disease. We know that the life expectancy of Nigerian women, if you don't know, is 55. 55 years old is the life expectancy of a Nigerian woman. That should tell us something. And so if you think that, you know what, I'm not sick, so I must be healthy, that's not good. Or you say, I'm a certain size. So you find a lot of women who say, oh, I'm a size 10. I must be healthy. That's also very wrong. Because you can find someone who is a size 16, a size 18, and I know that being overweight kind of challenges your health, but you find women who are doing the right thing, eating the right foods, exercising, doing their annual checkups, everything, and they're healthy. But you who are a size 10 and are believing that, you know what, everything is fine with me, are in the danger zone. So I just really want to talk about like the red light of nutrition. Just real quick. And I'll just use the traffic lights, red, yellow, and green. So green lights foods are foods that you should always be eating. These are the whole foods, the whole grains, the fruits, the vegetables. This is what you should be eating a lot of. The yellow are foods that you can eat, once in a while, occasionally. So these are the dry fruits, the yogurts, the granola bars, the sauces. And then the red lights are foods that you should not be eating. So I want to categorize it as, I don't want to say that they're good foods and bad foods. I want to say that they're foods that have better nutritional value than the rest. So you want to be eating more green than red, right? What are the red foods? These are the ones that have added sugars, that what we typically call junk, fat, right? So this is the pastries, the sodas, the packaged juices. I hear some people say, I don't eat fruits. I don't eat pineapple because XYZ. But you find them drinking a packaged juice, right? That's worse for you than real fruits. So you want to be eating more of the green and the yellow, and then replacing those. You want to be eating less of the red and replacing them with the green and the yellow.
For me, I want to talk about your weight loss journey, which is something you're very open about. And I love that you have monetized it. You see, God puts us in some journey at times to, help us to gain from it as well. And I like that you're gaining from it. You've helped so many women today. You even helped me, by the way, when I just had the baby. And they're like, do you have a 4 months? I'm like, you cannot understand. Don't worry. Someday I'll tell you about it. So tell us about the weight loss journey. What was it like? And let's go back in time to when you were not this size and you were not this healthy. What was it like for you? There's some people here that are in those shoes right now and need to hear you speak.
Thank you very much for that question. So I started to gain weight at the age of 11 years old, and rapidly, actually. So as soon as I came into my teenage years, I started to just gain weight because, of course, I was eating a lot and my lifestyle wasn't really great. I mean, my parents always thought that, it's just baby fat, you lose it. So to the parents who have children who are overweight, it's a good time to look at it and think about what you want to do about it. It's not about saying, you put that child on a diet or anything, but I wish that, my diet was controlled when I was younger. So I started to gain weight very rapidly. At the age of 15, I was already 100 kilograms. And by the age of 18, I was 130 kilograms. Now, you find children, because I was a child, who are diabetic, who have high blood pressure. And these are things that happen and we don't think about it or look into it. And so diabetes runs in my family, and in fact, I was pre-diabetic. And so I had what you call hypoglycemia, where my blood sugar would drop to really dangerous low levels. So I can be talking to you right now and I'll faint the next second. I remember I was writing my final exam in grade 12, and I fainted during calculus because my blood sugar was very low. And so it's something that I had been going through, and I honestly just didn't understand why I ate so much. Why do you just like food so much? Why do you just like eating? And I had gotten into university, and I remember the day that it dawned on me that, you cannot continue life this way. I was trying to walk up the stairs for my registrar's office, and it's just one flight of stairs, and I was panting so hard, like, and I'm like, you're 18 years old, 19 years old, and you are panting, you are pre-diabetic. I mean, at this point, I also had problems with my hormones. So I was going through. I had not been diagnosed yet, but now looking back at it, I had PCOS. So I had irregular periods. First of all, my period didn't start until I was almost 15 years old, not knowing that I had everything to do with my weight. And then it was very irregular. It would come for 2 months, and then it would be absent polycystic ovarian syndrome, right? So it will go for 9 months. And what will now happen is when I then get my period, I will bleed. So times how many times I have my period? So 5 days times 9, that's 45. I will bleed for 45 days. I remember the one that actually made me take this seriously. I bled for 117 days. I was literally the girl with the issue of blood, right? And it was my older brother that said, I was always telling him, because he used to go grocery shopping, buy me a pad. And he then asked his wife, because I was living with them, why is she asking every week for this? It's been like, I don't know how many weeks it was, but it's been a long time. You need to find out what's going on with her. So his wife asked me, and I said, I have been having my period for the past, I think it was like 109 days at this point. And she was like, what? And I went to the hospital. And of course, they gave me pills to take. I didn't take it. But I decided then that, you know what? This has everything to do with my well-being, with my health, with my weight. And I need to take control of this. And that's when I went on a weight loss journey. I was talking to a few people earlier when I was saying that my mother decided to go on that weight loss journey with me, and that was my turning point. And I went on to lose 55 kg. So I was 130 kilograms, and I lost 55 kg in 14 months. And I came out of the red zone for diabetes. I no longer have hypoglycemia. Everything is all right with my hormones, and I have been living my best life since. And I have kept the weight off for 11 years now. And I mean, it's one thing to lose weight, another thing to keep it off for so long. And in between, even having children, birthing 2 children, of course, just like you have just right now, you gain a little bit of weight, and then and then you have your babies. And so I have kept that off all this time, just making sure that I eat well, I exercise. They're just certain things that are just part of my lifestyle now. And sometimes when people look at me, they're like, oh, you're always on a diet. Anyway, the diet is a way of eating, right? So it's a lifestyle change. It's the way that I have decided that I am going to live my life. I say anything that's not from the ground, I'm not going to eat it. So anything that's not from the ground, you can't find me eating it. And so I just take 100% care of myself, honestly, because at the end of the day, it's just like what Obi said, life is going to go on, right? Life continues. And then, yeah.
See, we're talking about key pointers, and earlier on, Obi's mentioned, the annual checkup as a way of looking out for your health. But what are some of the other ways that, women can be more conscious about their health?
Thank you very much. Well, let me just leverage on a couple of things that both of them have said. Number one, what you said, Tomike, about not wanting to go to the doctor, very valid. A very valid feeling. I won't even call it a fear. I won't call it an anxiety. I won't call it a concern. A lot of people really do not like going to the doctor, me included. And so when we say the annual medical checkup, I immediately caught something that Obi said that I want to emphasize. She goes to a place she trusts, and they are actually a very high-tech laboratory. So she's not going to see a doctor or a nurse. And I put it to you, Obi, that you feel more in control going to that place than you would be if you were going to a doctor's office. Sadly, doctors were still brought up with this patriarchal sense of authority over you. I apologize on behalf of all my colleagues. But when you go to such a place as she goes to, she has gone there. They haven't summoned her. She is in control. She has taken charge. She can decide what is going to happen to her. And that sense of autonomy over your own body is very, very important. The other thing that we culturally have a fear of is that don't go and look for trouble. So like Tomike said, I don't want to go to the doctors. What are they going to say this time? I've heard it time and time again in the clinic. The man will come in, the woman will come in and say, I didn't have diabetes till I came here. You are the people that gave me diabetes. Or I didn't have, particularly diabetes and hypertension, because these are two diseases that you really don't have until somebody tells you you have it. Unfortunately, as with all things, is what you don't see that can come up and bite you in the backside. So that's not, how do I put it? Maintaining that sense of autonomy over your future, over what you want to do, is vitally important. And that's the one danger sign that I feel we often overlook. We often overlook that point in time when we begin to lose control. And this is not just women, this is all of us. And we then subliminally and subconsciously try to regain control, and then we're led by emotion and feelings and not by science and fact. So we have to recognize that there are things. I love modern technology. Get your calendars out. Put a reminder on your phone. In the University of Lagos now, and yes, Jumoke, I am from the University of Lagos, so I take very personally what you said. In the University of Lagos now, we have what we call the birthday wellness check. Of course, when you sign up your staff employment form, and I'm sure everybody does, they know your date of birth. On your birthday, you are expected to go to the staff clinic for a checkup. No, I don't go, but there is somewhere that I do go for a checkup, because that issue of examining the two most common cancers that kill Nigerian women are what? Breast and cervical, in that order. Being Black and a woman means you're at very high risk of the aggressive form of breast cancer that tends to kill us in our second and third decades of life. If you get it, there's no cure. The point is, don't get it. Very simple. Regular checkups. Learn to do your self-breast examination after your menstrual period. Every month. Fondle yourself in the bath. There's no better way of putting it. Learn what your breast tissue feels like. Know it intimately, so that the moment you feel something different, you know that there's something wrong. The world says, the traditional teaching is that we start mammograms from the age of 45 upwards. We don't hear. We're encouraging mammograms from the second, third decades of life. As you turn 30, go for a mammogram. At least have your baseline mammogram that shows the healthcare worker and yourself what your normal breast tissue looks like. If you don't go for another one for 5 years, we have a baseline. It's getting vitally important. Cervical cancer is now a vaccine-preventable disease. Everybody in this room here is too late for a vaccine. Your daughters are not. Your younger sisters are not. From the age of 8, please get them vaccinated.
We want to talk about the very busy woman. The woman who is probably married with children or, juggling so many things. I feel like even being a woman, you're automatically juggling a lot of things. Under the same umbrella of I'm a woman. So, how can this woman learn to focus more on herself? What are some of the things that you would say to the woman who is very busy, to encourage her to take good care of herself? Literally. Obviously, you're looking away, but you pick up the mic. If you like, look up. I know you were looking away.
So, as regards looking good despite your busy lifestyle, it will get busier, okay? Just so you know, it will get busier. You want more money, so don't worry, you'll get busier. But you have to be very, very intentional. Very, very intentional. The goal is not to be perfect, okay? But the goal is I will intentionally love myself. I don't want to use the word selfish. I don't think I'm selfish. But you have to love yourself enough to say, sometimes in my house, when the children are even, I just say, anything I want to spoil today, what we spoil. You see this sleep? I'm sleeping it. Sometimes you need to sleep. When she was saying sometimes you're anxious, you're having troubled feelings, stuff like that. There's a lot, too. You come back from work, they haven't done homework. I need to check the homework. I need to break it down for this. Sometimes, relax. Ha! I'm very intense. You see, there's nothing I don't do. And for the longest time, I didn't used to like to hang out. I'm not very extroverted in that sense. I like to have good conversations. But you see, I would say in the last 2-3 years, I'm very intentional about having a good time. Even if it's just by myself, I'll take myself out. Anything I want to spoil, let it what? Spoil. Today, I want to have seafood pasta with calamari breaded this, blah, blah, blah. I order it. I want a smoothie. Even if it's in the house, just give yourself a treat. Okay? Take a break. If you want to travel, you have the money. Travel. But learn to shut down.
On a final note, in a nutshell, what do you have to say to the future-focused female about her health, her well-being, and self-care?
For the future-focused woman, I would say if you want to go on for the future, you have to take care of yourself now so you are alive for the future. Yeah.
I love that.
But I wanted to add something to what Bunmi said as regards taking care of your skin. You know, although we're talking foods and stuff like that, but let's not forget things like changing your pillowcase. It's very important. No, I know it may come across as if I'm attacking you, but no. The oils from your hair and stuff like that that get on your pillowcase, they go and clog your pores, and you're not changing it like at least 2 times a week. That's enough reason why you should break out on your face. And your face is where people usually see when they talk to you before we talk about the rest of your skin. All right? So let's start with that. The second one, sunscreen. Who applied sunscreen this morning? Hi. So it's like about 10 of us that applied sunscreen. I know a lot of us don't like sunscreen because of the white cast, but there are a couple of them that don't have a white cast. And that's because you need to protect your skin. Okay, we're very prone to hyperpigmentation, melasma, and stuff like that, as well as skin cancer. So what your sunscreen is doing is basically acting as a barrier to block the sun rays from penetrating to your skin. So even for the gentlemen here, you need to apply sunscreen as well, yes. Even if you apply just Vaseline, mix it with it, okay? After like 5 minutes, it won't be white again, so don't worry. No, seriously. So you apply on your face, every part of your body that is exposed, okay? You do that just in the mornings, all right? It will help at least maintain you, because we go under the sun, all right? When we come back, you don't want to be harmed with these rays that your eyes can't see. Especially if you're in the science class, you know the rays that come from the sun, they do harm your skin. Something else I was going to say is also exfoliating your skin. You see the skin you're blessed with, right? It sheds. There's dead skin that comes off it every other few days. Did you know that? Oh, you didn't know? Okay, so let me explain. You know how you're walking down the street and you could see like a snake just shed its old skin? With that one, you can physically see. For the human body, you can't. So I'll advise you also exfoliate your skin. So see it as a me time. So things you can use in your house would be, let's say, I'll make a honey scrub. So I could use coffee and honey, or I could use oats. So I blend the oats and honey, right? Just mix it. It looks like a very slippery paste. This is something you can do at home. Use it on your skin. See, you send me a DM and say, oh, this, what happened?
The future-focused woman will definitely not be eating 5 portions of fruit and veg a day. I've tried. I tried desperately during the COVID emergency response, realizing that boosting one's immune system was going to be the single most important defense we had against and we actually used to meet at the Emergency Operations Center in Yaba and would have fruits on the table, oranges and whatnot. There's no way you're going to eat. So please take your big multivitamin tablets. One of the things that we did find, and I think science has borne us out, selenium and magnesium deplete very quickly with stress. So you need to take one big multivitamin tablet. I'm not going to mention any names. Quite a few of them are being done by supermarket brands, and they're very good. The last thing that I would say, please wear your oxygen mask first before trying to help anybody else. So look after yourselves first, please. You are the future of this country. There's no way we're going to talk about national development without easily 90% of the brain power listening to this. So I'm going to be very elitist and say you are the future of this country.
I'll be very brief. I'll say that the future focused woman should know that her body is always speaking to her and she should listen to it. And every day your body is telling you something, but are you listening? So, for instance, what you used to do 10 years ago, your body is evolving and changing. What used to work 10 years ago is not going to work today. And so your body is telling you something when you eat a particular food and there's a response. You need to be listening to that response and saying, you know what, maybe my body doesn't like this any longer. Maybe I need to change it. So I'll give you a quick example of myself. When we came into the COVID pandemic, I found that I could no longer tolerate dairy. And my body was telling me that I could no longer tolerate dairy, any dairy product. So no milk, no yogurt, no cheese, nothing at all. And I had to quickly listen to that. I also found out that my body could no longer and can no longer tolerate any animal products. And yeah, well, not for everyone, but I'm just saying, for me, I will say quickly that I found that I was bloating a lot, I was constipated, and this is happening to a lot of women, but you don't know why. Why am I unable to go to the bathroom? Why am I going 1 week and being constipated, even with eating fruits and vegetables and leafy greens? Why? And so I started looking at my diet and changing things around and found out that this was what was happening to me. So I changed a few things around and found out that my body was 100A when I started eating a certain way. So always listen to what your body is telling you. That's what I would say. Thank you.
What more is left to say? You've heard it all. Our total well-being is as important as our careers, and our dreams can only come to life when we are healthy. So try as much as possible to go for a medical checkup in the hospital. Do not wait until something happens before you go to the hospital. Exercise. Exercise, drink lots of water, and be intentional about yourself. Remember, your body is always speaking to you. The question is, how are you listening? And on that note, we've come to the end of our eventful November. Oh, how I loved November. Very interesting and eye-opening one. Thank you for watching. Looking forward to all that December has in store for us. And definitely that's the last month of the year. Anyway, if you'd like to reach out to me, kindly send a mail to ayomide.oguntoye@proshareenergy.com. Catch up on our previous episodes at proshareenergy.com/WebTV. Do follow us on all our social media platforms showing on the screen. And until December, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.